Ma'am,
Yes,
good evening, ma'am.
good evening.
I'm Rojina Khatun. Ma'am, I could not
Yes.
join the class yesterday due to some problems. Can I give my presentation today?
No, no, today is not a schedule for any presentation. Okay. So we will start with the session because accordingly we have to allocate the task like the projects, right? Required to this week. So we can't take like there should be a proper session going now. So I can't take your presentation now as I have given also, I have given them the details about how to record the video presentation. In the same way, you have to record the video presentation and submit in the mail. Okay.
Okay, ma'am. Okay, ma'am.
Okay. So just go accordingly. If any query is there, I have showed them from scratch. Okay. Also, if you required, I'll share with you with Scratch if you are finding any issue. Like I'll at the end of the session in details, I'll show you how we can record the video. Okay. For that, you'll be
Okay, ma'am.
needing the Zoom application. So just download that. I'll be showing you how we can take that.
Okay, ma'am.
So, guys, kindly ask others to join in because we'll start with the session. There is something very important that I need to discuss. So, kindly ask others also to join in because if they miss this part, it would be very difficult for them to cope it out. Right. So, I need to discuss something, then only we'll move into the session. But for the discussion, I need each one of you. So, whoever knows whom, just kindly tell them to join in. Okay, we'll just wait 3 more minutes. We'll just ask everyone to join in. Then we'll just start. Something very important I need to discuss. If you can, like whoever knows whom, if they can just convey the message to join early for them. Like early, not. It's already 5. If they can ask to join in, we can take it forward then, right? So kindly ask others to join in. Okay, let's just start with the session. Yeah. Before going, just want to ask Prajna. So, Prajna, have you just had a have you changed all of these details that I have asked you? Have you just reworked on the project?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so have you submitted your project?
Uh, I have submitted, but it is not fully completed, ma'am. I have uploaded on GitHub, and the remaining part is left. I have not
Fine.
submitted on the
Got
mails.
it. Got it. Fine. Got it. Fine. So can you just share the project that you have reworked and updated? Can you just show me that just the dashboard part I need to see? Then we'll
Okay, ma'am.
just discuss about the thing that is really important for you also. So we'll first discuss, she will show me the dashboard, then we'll discuss that stuff, then we'll go ahead with the session. Prajna, just share your screen. Okay, just the dashboard part show me. Okay. Okay. Some have titles, some don't. So add titles properly. Okay, and you can include some more charts to it and also place the slicers accordingly. Okay. Also, this one, like the pie chart that you have taken in, yeah, can you zoom it out a bit? Zoom more, yes. Okay, not like this. Okay, you in the down section of your Excel, you have got the option of zooming in. That is 24% as of now. That's why the things are not clear to me. Just increase that a bit. Slide that more. Extreme down, right.
Is it visible, ma'am?
It is visible, but I can't see it. The datas are not clear. What is written in the slices, I can't see it.
Oh, actually, ma'am, I cannot.
Yes, yes. Just increase that a bit. Yes, yes, that's fine. Okay. Just move it down to the pie chart that you have prepared.
Uh, this one, ma'am.
Yes, yes, this. No, this is the donut chart, the pie chart.
Pie chart. Sorry.
Yes. So this is for cost efficiency versus health score.
Health score. Actually, this have not. Okay, okay, ma'am. I will definitely work on it. Font size
Yeah.
have
And
to bigger.
yeah, font size and stuff that will work. And see the
Hmm.
data 0.367063, that much not required, right? You can just
Hmm.
decrease the after denominator the points you can sorry, after decimal the points you can just decrease. So just decrease that, keep at least 2 to 3 points after that. Don't keep so much.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay,
Should I
because
change
this
on the
looks
data
very
chart?
cluttering. No, 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 not on the data chat. Here only you can change, right? I guess I have also
Acha.
shown in the session, and also for
Okay.
someone who have presented, I did that. So here you
Acha.
can just click it up here, go down to home, and in the number group you get it. Okay,
Okay, ma'am.
in the number group we'll get it. So accordingly you
Okay,
do
ma'am.
it. Fine. Fine. And
Okay.
add two more charts because the number of charts are only like really less. So you can add that and also align the slicers accordingly. The background, this yellow background is more visible, right? So just align it in a way. I guess you have seen others also. So based on that, you do it. So your slicers are working.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, just use any of the slicer.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, fine. So all connected, right? Fine, fine.
Yes, ma'am.
Uh,
It is
just
connected.
Okay, fine. So just work it accordingly. And I guess you have uploaded this file of yours. So work it accordingly and then upload in GitHub the updated file, because in this file is not that much prominent up. So you will be working again in this, right? So the updated file you upload in GitHub and share that link, that GitHub repository link. Okay.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay. Okay, fine. You stop sharing. Okay, fine. Guys, I am just sharing my screen because I need to explain something. Okay, just a moment. I am sharing my screen. Just confirm if my screen is visible or not. Fine. Okay, this is not the one. This is the one. Okay, so this is visible.
Yes, ma'am.
The screen is visible, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Fine. So here you can see this is a report. So you understand this is actually a 6 weeks internship, right? So based on that, you need to go ahead with preparing a proper report up. Okay, so this is a proper report. If I just scroll it down, it has a front page in. Okay, next going it down, we have this candidate's declaration. Along with that, we have certificates, we have acknowledgement, we have this abstract, we have this index, we have this, like after that, we are starting off with the introduction. So this is how it will be start. Okay. Now, the project word, the chapter 2 is project word. So what project work will contain? It will contain all the week's data, like whatever the work you have done, like the project you have done in all of the weekends. So first week your project is already done, right, guys? So this week again we will be understanding each of the stuff and moving into week 2. Right. So for that, this is week 1. So accordingly, you have to be given like a proper chart of what you have done. There would be a proper introduction, objective. What is the data set that you have taken in, the methodology that you have taken? What is the, like here they have worked with Python. That's why this type of, but like what data preparation that, like for you it is an Excel based work. So you'll be like telling like what are the data cleaning methods and data pre-processing methods you have taken in. What is the result? Then you'll be adding the pivot charts, like the screenshots of the pivot charts, actually whatever the charts you have included and what insights you have received on that. And after all of this parts, you'll put the dashboard, the interactive dashboard that you have prepared, the screenshot of that. Okay, then there should be a proper conclusion and there should be a summary of key findings. Okay, so this is how you need to prepare the report. Okay, for all of the week. So I am sharing you this, like asking you to do it because from the very first, like you will be able to prepare it so that at the end you don't face extra stress or tension that I have to create the report for all my week's project. Hope I have made myself clear. Guys,
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
everyone, where are others? Are they not getting or what? Okay, so accordingly, we will be moving in like this. Okay, so just either you started from like this pages should be there, but you can include them later also, like this page, like the internship page. Then there is this candidate's declaration page. certificate page, acknowledgement page, and don't just copy paste it. Okay, whatever written, just don't copy paste it. Well, like here, the supervisor's name has been given something. So who's actually your mentor, you'll be putting it like that. Then what are the details they have given? Like based on that, you'll be what is exactly your details, you'll put in like that. Okay. And also this text and the terms, don't just copy paste it. So there they have used Python, Excel, data visualization. But what you'll be doing, you will be just taking it to the form for you, what was your course and how you have taken it down. Okay, so in that way you will be writing it, and also the same to same. No, of course there should be like the part would be same, but there should be something, some of the input from your end also. There can be a technical change in the pattern of writing and all. So you can just rephrase it using Quillboard. You can do that, or any other. There are many AI tools that does that, but keep it humanized. It shouldn't be like that it has been copy pasted somewhere and you have just put it in. Okay. I hope I have made myself clear. Everyone
Yes, ma'am.
not understanding or what? Okay, so here is the index. This is how they have prepared the index. You can prepare the index in a tabular form also, in the table format. So you can add the page number as well. So that will give an extra count to it. Okay, so after this, there should be an introduction. So this is the introduction part. You can see like this way only the introduction will be there, because there is a like the company's profile and the objective of the internship. And then from second page is your project work. Okay, so first you'll add the title of the project that you have worked in. Mention the week name, like the week 1, week 2, like that. Then go for a proper introduction, objective, data set, methodology, how you have taken the cleaning and pre-processing, analysis, and key findings. Hello? Someone's mic is on. Can you just mute it? Yes. Okay, so there would be analysis and result. What are the charts, pivot charts you have prepared, that you will be doing it. And also at the end, you'll be adding the dashboard. There should be a proper conclusion, summary, and key finding. This is done for the week 1. Then again, the next week, you'll be working with week 2. So similar way, you'll be preparing the report for week 2. Okay, so this is how you have to prepare the report. Then for week 3, this is how you'll be preparing the report for week 3. Okay, next going down, you'll be preparing the report for week 4. Just a moment. This is for week 3 she has prepared. This is for week 4. Okay. Now, going down, we'll be preparing for week 5. See, the dashboards you're talking of. So this is how one intern have prepared the dashboard. So look, doesn't it look so good, and easily everything can be viewed, right? So this is how you also need to prepare the dashboards henceforth. Okay. Uh, this is the part, and next week 5. This is how you have to prepare. Like this is the same structure, but you have to organize in a same report. Fine. Next, the week 6, that is the final week with the week project, that is the major project, or like that would be a like what is that? That is exactly what it is. That project, that major project is exactly based on what? That major project is based on the criteria that we are talking of. So that would be a group project. So you will be including all of the group projects, like all of the members who are mentioned there. And along with that, you have to go ahead with that. Fine. This is how you'll be putting it all together. Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Is it clear? Everyone
Yes, ma'am.
understood?
Yes, ma'am.
Fine.
Yes, ma'am.
For the project, since first week project is already done, start preparing your report in this format. Okay, for week 1, then for week 2, you will be also adding that, and eventually we'll move in this way. Fine. We'll just take a look then. So I guess everything is clear about it. So we'll just move into the session then. So we'll take a Word file and we'll start off. Okay. So before that, let me just give you the agenda for this week so that you can understand it. Just a moment, I'm sharing the screen. Screen is visible?
No, ma'am.
Okay, just a moment.
No, ma'am.
Fine, just a moment. Okay. No, this one. So this is the second week. Just a moment, I guess someone has joined. Okay, got it. This is the way, this is week 2, that is Advanced Excel and the SQL Basic that we will be taking in. So there we will be starting off this part, pivot table, pivot charts, dashboard creation we have already done. So data validation, drop down list we have already done. Yes. I guess someone is raising hand. Anyone, any query? Fine, let me just proceed it. Anyone, any query, they can unmute yourself and tell me. No worries in that. Fine, and we will start with the SQL basics. Fine. So today, since we'll try to keep a totally theoretical base, and most of this advanced part of Excel we are already done. Pivot table creation, pivot charts. We have also created interactive dashboard with slicers. What if analysis and scenario already done, data validation already done. So we are left with VLOOKUP and index match. I guess count if we have already taken in. If not, we'll just do it in tomorrow's session. But today we'll concentrate on the theoretical part. So majorly here, everything has been done. Most of the things are done. Some part might be left. So we will be covering in tomorrow's session, but today we'll start with the SQL part. So we'll go ahead with relational database. We'll see some of the basic queries, how we can do this, the basic theories we will be understanding. And from tomorrow, that is Thursday and Friday, we'll go deeper into it and we'll do the hands-on on that part. So that when we will be getting the project, we can easily perform there, right? So this is the agenda. This is how we will be moving in. Okay. So as of now, let me share this. Is this white Word file is visible to you?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
So SQL theory, we will be going in. Okay, fine. So based on that, is it visible or should I just zoom it out? I can zoom it. You can see, is it better?
Yes, ma'am.
Great. So we'll then go ahead. Okay. First, what we will be understanding, what is database? Okay. So what is database that we will be understanding? Guys, you have any idea about database? Any idea about database?
I mean, database is the area where all the data are stored in a right structure or anything else.
Fine. Anyone else wants to put in anything else up here?
Collection of organizational data.
Okay, fine. Let me go deeper into it. Okay, so what is database? A database is like a digital storage system. What it is? Digital storage system. Fine. So what happens here where we actually keep the information? So what are this informations? Information is the okay, the data that we are taking, that we are storing it down in an organized way so that we can easily find it, update it, manage it, whatever the task required, we can do it. Okay, so this is an example of a database. So you can think of a school record system, right? What happened in school record system? It has data about the students, the teachers, the classes, the marks each of the students got, etc. Right? So if you store all this in files or paper, it become very messy, and at times you might not find it also. Right? So, but a database, what it does, it keeps everything neatly organized. When you need any of the data, you just need to call the table or the specific name or anything. The detailed data you'll get in front of you. There is no hassle of finding it here and there, and also no hustle of taking it forward. Okay, so this is the basic theory that you can think about a database. So it is actually a digital storage system where we actually keeps or stores the information, that is the data, in a organized and structured way so that we can easily find them, and also we, if needed, we can update them, manage it or delete it, whatever be the task we can do it at our own preference. So that is the database. Okay, now after database we need to include and understand about relational database. Okay, so what just relational database. So what relational database is? So it's a like a table in a relational database is like a, you can think it of like a Excel sheet. All have worked in the Excel sheet. So a table in a relational database is like a Excel sheet only. Okay, so it does have columns. The columns are called the fields. So it describes what types of data is stored. Okay, so what types of data means, like for the student IDs, name, class, age, this or exactly are the column names, or we can say the fields. Okay, then the rows that contains the records. So each record is one item. Okay, so one student, one teacher, whatever be it. So that is coming inside the rows. So in relational database, we have a table that is exactly like an Excel sheet that has the fields and the record. Fields are the columns, records are the rows. So this is an exact table, like tabular format. The data is getting stored in relational database. Is it clear?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Okay, so if I need to describe about relational database, so a relational database is a kind of database that stores data in the table. Okay, that is the spreadsheet format, as I told in the Excel. Okay, so each of the table that represent one kind of thing. Like for example, one is a student table, one is a teacher table, one is a sports table. So for each of the criteria, we are preparing different types of tables. Okay, and most importantly, the tables are related to each other. See, the students, that table would be related to the teacher table because the teachers are teaching those students only. and the courses. Course table will also be related to both the teacher table and the course table. Like a teacher is assigned for each of the course, and this course are studied by the students, right? So there is a proper relation, like these tables are actually related to each other, right? So that is why it's called relational, because relationship exists between these tables. So that is the reason we call it a relational database. Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so let me just give an insight up. So stores data in what relational database do? Stores data in table, or we can call it as spreadsheets. Like what is it? Like spreadsheets. Fine. Now we will be seeing how data is stored in the table, rows and columns. Okay. So let me just go into Excel. Fine. So here what happens? Suppose this is the format. Okay. So in the table format, it is getting stored. So the table in a relational database, we can think it of as a Excel sheet itself. So it does has columns. These are the columns, right? So if I had to take an example of a student table, so let me take a student table. And here I'll be putting some of the values. Okay, let's check. Is someone here? Okay. Okay. So we'll put some of the fields out here. So what are the fields? Student ID. Then we can have the name. Then we can have the age criteria. Then we can have the class criteria. Now, student ID, suppose I'm putting it as 1, and I will be taking 3 values altogether. So we'll just scroll it down. Now for the names, what I'll be doing, I'll be putting some of the random name, maybe Ria, just a moment. Yes. I'll be putting, suppose Ria I am putting, then the age I am putting as suppose 14, or sorry, just 14, and then we will be putting the class, suppose class 7. Okay. Now again, I'll be putting the value. What I'll be putting? So maybe putting it as a B. Next, the age that I am giving is suppose 15, and the class that I am giving is suppose class 9. Okay, yes, I can put class 9 like that. Then I can put Mira. I can put around 12, and I can put the class to be 6. Okay, so this is how my table is formed. I'll just put it to merge to center like this. I'll be doing. So this is actually a apparent structure of a SQL, like the database that actually has. So we have this column names. These are actually called fields in that, and also it does contains this all the values. So these are actually the records or the row values. So see, this first row contains the data of a single person, like a single student. Second row contains the data of a second person. Third row contains the data of the third person. Okay. So the column, what it describes, suppose the student ID, name, age, what it actually describes, it describes what type of data is stored in it. Right. So what type of data, like giving the details about the data that is there in the rows. right? Next, going down to rows of the records. So each row is one item, right? Each row is one item. See, this is one student, this is another student, this is contains all of the data of a single student, this is of another student, this is again of another student, right? So this is an example of a tabular SQL. Like this is how we are actually a tabular database actually. That is the relational database. Okay. Understood?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. We'll move in here now. So now, why relational? We need to understand why relational, because different tables are linked to each other through any of the common points, right? So let's take some tables and let's understand. Okay. So let's take a course table. Okay. What we will be putting it here, the course ID. Then we will be putting, suppose the course name. Then we will be putting maybe the teacher ID, like which teacher is making understand which course. Okay. Okay, that would be teacher ID. Sorry. Right. So let me just put it like this so that things are visible. So this is the course table. So again, I'll be taking some of the data up here. So I'll take around 101 like this, and I'll put it like this. So now I'll put the course, suppose maths, putting around English. Next, putting it science. Fine. Again, we have the teacher ID. So teacher ID, suppose T1. Along with that, there would be the other teacher's ID out here. So this is how we have built T1, T2, T3. So my course table is ready. Okay. So now I'll be preparing what I'll be preparing. I'll be preparing a teacher table. So I'll do again like this, merge it down. Now I'll be adding teacher ID, teacher name, and subject. Okay. So what we will be putting up here. So this T1, T2, all of this we will be putting up here. So now the name I'll be putting, suppose Mr. Nair. Next, I can put Ms. Gupta. I can put around Mr. or Mrs. Reddy, maybe. Fine. And the subjects, I'll be again choosing math, English, and science. So I'll just copy, paste it from here and put it down here. So again, I'll check for the alignments and stuff. Do the rows and stuff that I'll be doing. Yes. So now see, I have two column, like two tables as of now. Just forget about this. Just include this as of now. So I have course table and a teacher table. Okay, so we have a course table and a teacher table, right? So or both the table has 3 different fields out, and I have the course ID, the name, and the teacher ID. Here also I have teacher ID, teacher name, and the subject. So you can see that teacher ID column that appears in both the course table and the course table and the teacher table. This is quite similar, right, guys?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Right?
ma'am.
So, yeah, so this is how the relationship is made. So suppose this 101, this course, that is math, it is taught by teacher 1, this teacher 1, and the name of the teacher is Mr. Nair, and this is actually the information that we are getting up here. So Mr. Nair, Mr. Nair, his teacher ID is T1. He is studying, like he is teaching maths, and the course ID of that very subject maths is 101, actually 101. Okay, so similarly we can see for T2 teacher ID. So this is the scenario. So this is actually giving the information. So the linking of information from one table to another, it is the heart of this relational database. Okay. Hope I have made myself clear. Like everything I have well explained to a point that anyone who doesn't know SQL out here can understand. So hope things are understandable, I guess. Can you tell me, is it fine for you?
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Okay, fine. Great. We'll move in up here then. So then we'll just take a look about the types of relationship between the tables. Okay, fine. So types of relationship that are actually one-to-one. So 1-to-1 basically, yes. So what is it? So each row in table A matches with exactly one row in table B. Okay, so like suppose each student has one unique school ID, right? So one student with one ID card, right? So this is the scenario. So each row in table A matches with exactly one row in table B. So that actually gives the idea about one-to-one. So suppose there is one student, there should be one assigned ID only. So one single ID for each. Like here you can see for the teachers. So a single, this teacher has a single teacher ID. So when we are linking it up here, here also we are getting in T1, we can replace it with Mr. Nair, right? Because this ID is unique for all of the teachers out here, right? So this is an example of one-to-one. Now we will be moving on to one-to-many. Fine. So one-to-many, what it is? One-to-many means one row in a table A matches with many rows in table B. Okay. So one teacher can teach many courses, right? This Mr. Nair could have taught all of this subject, maths, English, science, like this, right? So this one teacher teaches many courses. So one teacher to many courses, that is one to many kind of relationship. Understood?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Great. We'll take it down to many to many. So what happens in many to many? That is, many rows in table A can relate to many rows in table B. Okay. So you can take an example like many students can take many courses, right? There is not a proper sense that one student will learn only maths. So there can be, this can happen like this student Ria can opt for math, English and science, all three, right? So this kind of relationship is handled using the link table. Okay. So that is called the junction or the bridge table basically. So this happens with student to course when we are linking it up. So one many to many. Okay, so this is happening. So many students can take many courses. So Ria, as Ria can take math, English, science. Similarly, Abhi, he can also take math, English, science. Meera, she can also take math, English, science, right? So many students with many similar items, right? So that is many to many. So this kind of relationship we handled using a link table format, right? Is it clear, understandable?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Great.
Yes.
So, we'll just deep dive into why we use the relational database, because in relational database, we can organize the structure. That is, the data is stored neatly, right? There is no duplicates because the information is not repeated unnecessarily. Whatever be the required things that are there, that are taking it up accordingly. There is no repetition or no duplicates are happening. Okay, so it is very easy to update. There is a good accuracy also and powerful querying. You can ask the complex question. It will in return, it will give you the answer of it. So that we will be definitely seeing over. Okay, so this is the reason why we are using relational database. So some of the popular relationship like relation database management system, that is RDBMS, that we are including it as MySQL, PostgreSQL, SQLite, then Oracle database also. Along with that, we have Microsoft SQL Server. So we can use many of this based on our requirement, but for this, we will be using MySQL. Okay, and we'll try to understand each of the stuff in details. So as far as what we have learned, I'll just keep a short of it. You tell me, is it understandable or not? Fine. So first, in today's session, we understood about relational database. In relational database, we understood about table. What is table? A collection of related datas. What is, then we have learned about rows, that is the record. So it is one of the data entries that we are taking it inside. Column, that is the field, that is the type of data or the like the identification of the data or the records that we are putting in. Next, we will include some of the relationships. There might be logical connection, whatever be it, that is there inside it. Okay, so this is all about the relational database. Now we'll move into to the structure where we can understand about SQL a bit more. This is relational database. Now we have SQL. What is SQL? SQL is structured query language. So it is a language that is used to talk to database, especially relational database. Okay. Understood what I told? What is the difference between this relational database and SQL? Tell me. Fine. What is the database? Database is like the structured format of data. So we are storing the data, right? Now we have the interface, but we need a communicator, right? So if I ask for any of the stuff in the data, then there should be someone who would be answering me that, right? So this SQL comes into play for that. Okay, so SQL is the language basically that we are using to talk it to the database. So that is the major thing. Okay, you can think SQL as a language you use to communicate with a database. Like you ask question to get answer. Like I want to add a data. So I'll ask add new data, remove wrong data, or update existing data. This kind of commands I'll be giving, and in return the task will be performed. Right? So is it understandable what I am telling?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Fine. So let's just take it to a bit details. Let's create a table out here and see what things we can perform out here. Okay. So let's create a library database. That would be better. So this is a library database. So it contains, suppose, book ID. What next it contains? It contains the title. What is the name of the book or the title of the book? Next, it contains the author. Next, it contains, suppose, the year of publication, like this. Next is it might give an offer, like is the book available or not available, right? That is the main thing, right, in library. So this are the fields. So suppose let us take some of the fields. We'll take the IDs as 1, 2, 3 only, so easier to understand. So now I'll give a title, maybe Harry Potter. The author is J.K. Rowling. Of course, everybody knows it, I guess. The year I can put it around 90s, later 90s, 1998 maybe. I don't know, but let's put it like that. Available, we can put at yes. Next book, I can use anything like that. So this is, sorry, this is the author. Just a moment. So I'll take down this data. This data, maybe the habits. Putting it like that only. Maybe 1930s. We can put it as no. Next, we are putting it as anything. So this is my like the library data set. So I'll just do the alignment. So this is my data set, okay? Sorry, this is my database actually, okay? So now if you want some of the answer or see how all the books are, which book are available or some of the questions relevant to this. So for this, the communication with the database needs to happen, right? So for this, we are using Excel, sorry, SQL. I'm really sorry, SQL we are using for this, okay? So let's check for some of the questions. So first we can see that we have all of this. So we can add a new book. Like if my command is add a new book. Next, the question may be change availability. Next, if my question is remove a wrong entry. Or we can see all of the books written by J.K. Rowling. Okay, so it will give us the answer. So I actually ask these questions. to the database, and the database will not be able to answer, right? So there should be a medium who will give me the output based on that, right? So SQL is doing that behalf of that, right? On behalf of anything, like the communication is building because of SQL. Okay, so there is some of the SQL actually, like what SQL actually does. So SQLs actually let us to perform like basic 4 functions. So there is a query, there is insert, there is update, there is delete. So what is query? Query is to fetch data or find the information. Like if I am asking this question, see all of the books written by J.K. Rowling, right? This is an example. So it will give me the output of this, like Harry Potter, J.K. Rowling. This output, it will be giving it to me. Understood what I told? What we are doing in this query, are you people understanding?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Everyone? Any query?
Yes, ma'am.
What is the query? You told yes, right? When I asked, is there any
No, no.
query? So
No, 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 ma'am.
you are understanding, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Fine. So this, what it comes under? It comes under query. Fine. Next, we have to insert, like the add the data. So if I need to add a new book, right? So that will come under to add a new information in the table. So that will come under the operation of add. Okay. Add means insert actually. Fine. Next, I have to update any of the change data, right? So I need to modify the existing data. So suppose there is any change in the availability. There is the change in the availability from no to yes. Any of the person has returned the book, so now it is available, right? So now what this comes under the update form. Now I have the option of deleting. So delete is to remove the data. So remove wrong or old data that comes in the form of deleting a book that is damaged, or we are not taking into part with that. So we need to remove that, right? So this comes under this operation of remove. Oh, sorry, not remove, delete. I'm really sorry, delete. So we have all this operation: insert, update, delete, and query. So all these operations comes under SQL. Fine. So now we'll have the SQL structure. So the structure of SQL that we will be understanding. Okay. So structure of SQL is basically DQL, DDL, DML, and we have DCL. Okay, so what are all this? DCL, and also we have TCL also, right? So what are all this? So DDL, let's say first is DQL. DQL is data query language. It used to ask question or retrieve the information from the table. That is how I have given the example of query. So you ask the question, right, to it, so that we get some of the output. So see all of the book written by J.K. Rowling. So this comes under DDL. Okay, this comes, sorry, DQL, I'm really sorry, DQL, that is data query language. Next is DDL, that is data definition language. It's used to create or change the structure of the data objects, like the tables. Like I need to create a new table for student, add new column called maybe any of the subject wise marks for any of the student that I need to do. That comes under DDL, that is data definition language. Next is DML, data manipulation language. So it is used to add, modify, remove the actual data inside the table, right? Suppose I need to add a new student information. I need to update the address of any of the student. I need to and like delete the name of the student who has already left the school 10 years back, right? So like that, that comes under DML. Okay. Next is DCL. What is DCL? Data control language. Okay. It is used to control access to the data. It allows this user to see the like the student data, right? So there might be, it don't allow also. So it don't allow suppose anyone to delete the record of the student, right? So this comes under this form, that is data control language, that is there you use to control the access of the data. So we can't give the access to everyone, right? There should be specific people who should get the access. So this is how we are treating it like that. Okay. Next is transaction control language. It is used to manage the groups of operations so that so they can happen safely, and it can happen in a correct format. So what is it like the payment, right? The payment section can be taken care like that. So in that section, like if the payment is succeeded, then we confirm the order. If the payment fails, then we reject the, like we are canceling the order, right? So this is the way we are taking it forward. So is it clear about the SQL?
Yes, ma'am.
Great. So we'll just have a
Yes, ma'am.
look about SQL and relational database, how they work together. Okay. So the relational database store the data in the tabular format into rows and columns, and SQL is the language that is used to talk to those tables. Okay. This is the major thing that we learned in today's session. So I think everyone understood about it. Any query up to now? Anyone? Fine. We'll just move in and a bit details about some of the terms and technologies, some of the terms and identifications that we actually need. So the very first is the primary key. So what it is? Anyone have any idea about primary key? Yeah, Prakhar, you can tell.
Basically, it is an attribute which uniquely identifies the table. Like suppose we have an table whose employee table, so employee ID can be a primary key.
Yes, right. Exactly. So primary key is the column actually, not the table, Prakhar. Like in the first step, you told it as table, but when you have given the example, you have modified that. That's nice. But the primary key is a specific column, okay, in a table that uniquely identifies each of the rows. Like think it of like as a person's unique ID number. Like all of you have Aadhaar card, right? This Aadhaar card data, this the number that this Aadhaar card contains, it is unique to each one of you, right? That's why there is no one with the same Aadhaar number. So this IDs are also similar. So this is unique to all of the persons that are there, that are included in the table actually. Okay, so this is example of this primary key. So if I am giving an example of a student table, so here you can see, just a minute. The student table you can see here, the student ID is 1, 2, 3, right? But see, for this is very unique to Ria. Ria, if we call the unique ID as 1, then Ria's details will be only seen, not Abhi's details, right? So these are unique to all of the people. Like 1 that is related to Ria, 2 related to Abhi, 3 related to Meera, like that. Okay, so this is all about the primary key. Next, going down to foreign key. So foreign key is a column in any of the tables that points to the primary key in another table. Okay, it creates the link between the two tables. So you can see about this teacher ID. This is created in course table, also created in the teacher table, right? So this is unique to each of the teacher, and this is coming under two tables. So this is actually linking it up, right? So suppose I am telling in the course table, I have all of this, like in the, like if I elaborate, so I have this course table has course ID, course name, teacher ID. Teacher table has this teacher ID, teacher name, right? So here this teacher ID in course is the in course table, like this one is actually the foreign key that points to the teacher ID in teacher table. So suppose this, if I am not having, like if this is getting, like if I am not including this up here, then also this will include to this person, right? Is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Everyone understood?
Yes, ma'am.
Fine.
Yes, ma'am.
So what exactly we are doing inside SQL? We are doing the table creation. So what is a table and how we plan one? So a table is a spreadsheet, like a sheet. This is a table that we have already told, right? So we have already discussed about tables, column, what would be the data type. Also, we need to mention the data type when we are working with creating table call, like command in SQL. Okay, so what is the data type? Like what kind of data each column holds in, right? That we also need to understand. Like each column, suppose there is a text, that is the name. Name is of course should to be in text. Numbers, that needs to be in there should be any of the age or price, anything like that. That would be included in numbers. Date, the date of birth, any of the Boolean form. Like here I have used available, yes, no, this comes in Boolean. So this is the way the data types are actually included in this form. Next, we have this primary key that I already explained. So this is a kind of a primary key up here. So we need to pick one column whose value is uniquely identified for each of the row. Okay, then there we have the constraints. What are the constraints? Constraints are the rules to keep the data clean. Okay, suppose not null. If we are putting the constraint as not null, that means the column must have to, there must be a value that needs to be entered. Like in case of Google form, you might have seen, like after name or email there is a red color of star that is there. Like this field needs to be full, like needs to be filled only. If this name doesn't fill, don't fill this this part of the name, then your form won't be submitted, right? So this is a similar form of not null. If any field I am keeping it as not null, that means that column must have a value. We can't keep it empty. Okay. Then we have a constraint that is unique. Like no two rows can have the same value in this column. Okay. So that is useful for the emails, for unique IDs, like also the IDs, we keep it as a primary key. Then also in that form, we need to check. Next, there might be any of the default value constraint. What this default value constraint means, like if you don't give a value, the database fills that by default. So if you are giving available, that would be of course equal to yes, right? So that will be filled up by the system automatically. Next, foreign key, of course, we have already told about foreign key. So it is like the column that must match an ID of the another table, right? So like this teacher table and teacher ID, that is combining with a teacher ID of course table with the teacher table also. Fine. Is it understandable?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, fine. So there is other options to take it also, that is auto increment IDs. Like this all I am not writing. Do I need to? Will that be helpful for you? Do I need to write it down?
Please, ma'am.
Sorry?
Uh,
I'm not getting. Can you repeat? Like, do you want me to write it down, or this by this way how I am explaining, is it fine for you?
You just mentioned the
Don't
point.
hesitate.
That was sufficient.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I am saying. Like, whole thing can't be written, right? I will be just mentioning the points. Fine. So I'm just writing about the constraints. So constraints we discussed about not null. Next we have, I guess, discussed about foreign key. Then we have discussed about the primary key. Then we have discussed about the unique values. Then we have discussed about the default value. All of this we have discussed. Next, we are going with that doesn't count into constraint, but we do have this feature that is auto increment IDs. Okay, so what it is, the database automatically gives new unique numbers to each of the rows. Like based on that, we are taking it forward. Suppose we have this primary keys that is very unique and that follow the range of 101, 101. And now we are doing it as auto increment. Right now, we are filling the data accordingly. Then the database will accordingly auto increment it, like from 101 to 102, 102 to 103, like this. This is the auto increment IDs. Once the database understand the pattern, it fill the data. Okay, next we have the indices, that is the special helper. Actually, we call it a special helpers that make the search faster or certain for certain columns, like an index at the back of the book, right? So all of this, it comes in the indices. So it is actually helps makes the search more faster for on certain of the columns basically. So it is indices. Okay, so this is all about the SQL that we need to like the data table creation. So now we go for some of the basic queries. That is, the basic queries is select. We have from. So we will be understanding it in the SQL workbench. So those who have SQL, it's good, and those who don't have, just install in your system. Okay. Where this all are the basic query structures for like for SQL, maybe like for SQL actually, not maybe, for SQL actually. Okay, so these are the clause, like select clause, from clause, where clause, all of these are clause, right? So these are actually the three words. As of now, I'm going with words so that you can understand. These are actually the words basically from the simplest and the most common way to ask any of the thing. Like suppose anyone, like in the command I am giving select. Okay, so what it is giving, it asks, what it asks is, it asks is the like just tell me the information I want to see. Okay, it gives us a proper output. Right, so based on that, if I am putting it to from, so from is like from which table I want the data, that I am signifying. Like select star from EMP. EMP, what is EMP? Is my table name. If I am putting select star from EMP, select means select all of the data from the table EMP. The table is EMP. From means from where? From where is EMP? EMP is my table name. Okay, clear? Now is where is like how to say, only to show the item that matches any of the condition. Like if I am saying select star from EMP where the salary is greater or equal to 10,000. So it will give me the data accordingly, like based on the condition, that is the salary column, where the salary column have the value that is greater than 10,000. Right? Where is like to show the items that matches all of the conditions. Is it clear? So tomorrow we'll see in this session so you can understand it in more detail. So this is all about select from where the very basic commands that we can think of. Okay. Understood everyone?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Any query up to now?
Ma'am,
Yes.
ma'am, can you please explain the DTL? I just missed that.
What detail?
DDL, the SQL, the type of SQL you have told. The
I am
structure of
not getting your
SQL.
voice is also yes.
Ma'am, the structure of
Structure.
SQL, you mentioned the point, na, the DDL that I missed.
DDL you are saying. Okay, this DDL. Right?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
This you are asking. Okay. So DDL is basically like you are answer like you got about DQL, DML, DCL, everything you got. But
Yes,
only
ma'am.
this part you are remaining with DDL. Okay, fine. So DDL is actually data definition language. So we are using to create or change the structure of the database object. Okay. So like I want to create a new table in the name of suppose EMP, or we want to create a new table for the employees basically. So that is creating a new thing for creating or changing the structure that I'll be needing. So then I want to add a new column up in this here maybe I want to add another column, and the name of the column I want to give email so that I can get the emails of each of the students. Okay, so this is actually some of the examples of DDL. DDL is used for creation. Okay, basically creation, adding new things, adding a table, adding a column. This are the part of DDL. DDL is data definition language.
Okay, ma'am.
Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Anything else? Anyone? Anything else? Fine. Then we'll just discuss about joints a bit, and then we'll just move in. Like tomorrow in the session, we'll see how we can take it through. Okay. So joints. Anyone have idea about joints? Yeah, Prakhar, tell.
So join is a feature of the feature like to join multiple tables
Right.
with a particular key. Like suppose I have to join the two tables. So I have a primary key, and with reference to that foreign key, you can join both the tables for multiple tables.
Yes, right. So that is exactly kind of joint what it does. So a joint actually connects the rows of two table based on the rules. Okay. So joints connects the rows specifically for two or more tables. It's not like only for two tables it can do. It can do for two or more tables. Okay. And it goes for based on a specific rule. So usually that is a value in one table that matches with the value in the another table. Like here we can see about this values is getting matched with this value. So we can just join this table together, right? So just yes, so we can join this table, right? So basically we in the visual form, we take it in the Venn diagram form. So there is a right circle, there is a left circle. In that form, we actually define it. Okay. So you can think it of as matching the name badges right? Any of the name badges you are having, and you paired people who have the same badges along with that, right? So in that form, we can just combine people. Also, most of the joins use the key that is from the primary key in one table and the foreign key in another table. That is how we are actually try and merge it. Okay, so inner joins. What inner join is? There are actually the types of joints that we can think of, that is inner joint, left joint, that is, or left outer joint. The left joint is also called the left outer joint. There is an inner joint. There is a right joint or the right outer joint, and there is a full outer joint. So there are four divisions, and basically we take it four, but there is also another joint that is called cross joint, that is Cartesian product. Okay, so for combination along with that, and we can have a natural join also, and we think it of basically as a self join also. So these are the advanced version, but basically we take it to the four different joints only. But we do understand about it, and if needed, we'll understand about it in details also. Okay, so now going down with the inner joint, so that is the only overlap, that is the matching rows. So I guess I don't have the diagrams as of now today, so it would be better if I can show you by diagram, the Venn diagrams actually. So it would be better that we understand it in tomorrow's session, and we can take it forward. So we have just known about the joints. Now we'll go ahead with what is inner joint, understand them in details and stuff that we will be doing in tomorrow's session. Tomorrow I'll just have those Venn diagrams in, so that that is easier for you to understand also, so that we can take it forward. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
Fine. Great. So as of now, today, there is any query up to now, any questions?
Ma'am, in starting, you have showed one document, right, for a reference. In group, can you share that?
Yes, yes, I'll be sharing in the group. Okay, that will be shared in the group. Okay.
That document should be submitted after 6 weeks, right?
Yes, yes, after 6 weeks, because all of the documents are there only, right? Like all of the project details are there only, right? So that is the reason.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, fine. So we'll go ahead with this only then, right? Okay, guys, we'll meet tomorrow with in the session. And if everybody don't have the MySQL downloaded in your system, just download it, because in this week you will get a project related to SQL and advanced Excel. So you have to work with that, right? So I guess just to ask, how many of you have worked with SQL? Just raise your hands. Yes. Prakhar, Soumyadeep, yes. Others, Ramkrishna, Prajna. Okay, so everyone has more or less worked with SQL, right? So this is the very basic. So that's great. We'll just then have a, like, it would be easy for you to understand. So that's fine. So we'll then see it tomorrow how we can take it forward. Okay. Bye, guys. Bye.
Ma'am,
Yes.
ma'am, will you please show me how to record the video?
Okay, fine. So you have to open the Zoom application. Okay. So you have the Zoom application. You need to open that Zoom application. Okay. After that, like you will start, like, just a minute. Let me just tell you like that. So once you open the Zoom application, right, then you get an option, like there would be Zoom workspace that will be coming up. Then you'll go down to new meeting. Okay. New meeting, you'll go down. Then once it is there, you have the option of audio and video, right? So that will be on. You will start your meeting, like you'll just start your meeting. Okay. So once you have start your meeting, you get the option of presenting your screen, right? So you'll present the screen, and then there is an option in the down section, in the lower section, that calls record. Okay. And you will press the record option, like the record button you'll press. And in the present, like as you presented the screen in your presentation, your files will be there, like the PPT or like maybe for the Excel sheet, whatever the whatever be the dashboard, then pivot charts you have prepared, data pre-processing step you have prepared, that you need to open it, fine. And you have to explain each of the step in very detail. Okay. So the video recording has to be at least of minimum 7 to 8 minutes. 1-2 minutes video we are not taking. Okay. So you have to then go ahead, record the video, like you have to present the everything. Then you need to put end. End, that is you are leaving it, like you stop recording and then end the meeting. Then eventually the recording, like once you this panel, this Zoom workplace is closed, you will get that recording. So you get 3 options. One is your audio, another is your video. So you'll check your video. If everything is well, then you will just upload the video in your Google Drive. Okay. So once you have uploaded your video in the Google Drive, there you get the option of anyone with the link can access this file, like can see this file, right? So you check it like that. Once that has been done, you share that link. You get a link for sharing to people. Like once you have uploaded in the Google Drive, then go to share. Okay. Once you go to share, then you get the option restricted to people. Just click it down there. You will get an option of anyone with the link can access my file. So just change the restriction to anyone having the link will be accessed, will get access of the file, and then copy the link from there and paste it down in the mail, and share your Excel file in the mail, your GitHub repository link in the mail, also the Word file that contains the like the insights, basically insights that you got from the chart and your recommendation. Fine. So this is how you need to proceed. And you need to
Ma'am,
share the mail. Yes. Yes.
ma'am, do I also need to turn on my video?
Turn on your
Video.
yeah, that would be needed. If you can do that, that's fine. That would be fine.
Ma'am, if I turn on only my audio, then
So is there any issue with the video?
yes, ma'am.
So what issue, can you tell me? What issue? Like, is it anything personal?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, you just, if possible, if you can just connect with me and tell me what is the issue in WhatsApp, I'll try and check. And if that is in that form we can take it, then we will just allow you to like without turning off the video, or like turning on the video, you can record your presentation. So in the group, I am already there. You can just drop me a text so that we can go accordingly. Fine? Is that fine?
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, yeah. Okay, fine. So we'll just wrap up. Yeah, Ramakrishna.
Ma'am, can you please share the video recorded lessons?
Yeah, that is already shared, right? The YouTube link has been shared, right?
Ma'am, in the YouTube there is the AIML sessions, but not the data science, I guess. Data analyst posts are not there.
Okay. Not there. Do you have the YouTube link? Can you just share it to me in the chat? I'll just cross check and I'll just give you the update on.
Okay, ma'am. Okay.
Just share it to with me in the chat. Now, is it possible?
I'm sharing, ma'am.
Okay, fine. Share it.
Sorry, ma'am. I have some internet issues.
Okay, got it. I found it. Just a moment. Okay. Yeah, there is. Just a moment. Let me check. No, Ramakrishna, it's already there. It's already there. Like you
Oh,
can
yes.
see it, like AGAI 8-9 Data Analytics 2025 new. That has been there
Oh,
when
yeah.
we
Yeah, ma'am.
shared
Yeah,
it.
ma'am. I missed it. I missed that. Sorry, ma'am. Sorry.
So you need to
Huh.
first cross check it, right? Then only you'll be
Oh,
saying, right?
sorry, ma'am. Sorry, I'm so
I
sorry.
have
I'll
given
get.
you that. The video recording I have given it to you. You can check from there. Fine. Okay, I am running out of time. I have another session to catch up now. We'll join tomorrow. We'll meet tomorrow accordingly, and we'll see how next we can proceed further. Fine.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
Okay. Bye, guys. Bye. Thank you. Bye.